Hi everyone, I'm Rachel from Rachel Elizabeth Artist, and in today's video I want to talk about the importance of learning to love the process of your artistic journey. Whether you're starting a new skill, exploring different creative ventures, or wanting to take the leap and turn your creative passion into a career, the main thing you really need to let go of is expectation. That doesn't mean don't aim high or set goals or have a vision for yourself. I am all about that. I absolutely encourage you to do that. But you need to let go of the expectation that things will work out how you want them to without a lot of ups and downs. It is going to take much longer than you expect, and you do need to be okay with that. Think of it this way. You wouldn't sit down at the piano without any musical background, never played the piano before, and just expect to be able to play perfectly. But we have a tendency to expect this, and I think it's partly like social media to blame, to be honest. We expect this to be the case when developing our art or starting a business, but it just doesn't work that way. And if you approach it with that mentality, you are going to have a bit of a rude awakening. I'm not saying this to try and discourage you, quite the opposite. I want to help you avoid making the same mistakes that I did, or at least being prepared for them. For example, when I first started, I decided that I wanted to try out markets. This was back in the UK. And I spent so much money making prints and getting all sorts of table decor and traveling all the way down to London, staying in a hotel. I sold 2 prints. I was so disheartened because I had this expectation from looking at other people that I was just going to make loads of sales, and it just didn't work that way. So I want to at least help you be more prepared for these ups and downs. You deserve to be able to pursue the things that fulfill you and light you up. And I want to be a cheerleader for you. It makes me feel so sad when I see or hear artists giving up on their vision because their business hasn't taken off in 5 months. It took me 6 years, and I'm still building. I'm still far off the goal I want to reach. But the reality is, if you want to make your vision come to life, you have to be willing to play the long game. And to be able to do that, you have to learn to love the process. So how do you do that? Number 1, invest in yourself and your skill. If you, for example, want to learn colored pencil, focus on drawing as often as you can, even if it's just for 10 minutes or a really simple sketch. Draw whatever excites you. Try free YouTube tutorials or follow other artists and listen to their tips. Put the focus on practicing your craft and developing as an artist. Each time you practice, you will learn what works and what doesn't. That's exactly what built my skills as an artist. And let me just reiterate the word skills, because this is exactly what it's about. It's not some magical, unobtainable ability. You might feel like that right now, but it's honestly just down to practicing skills constantly. And the best part about skills is they can be learned and developed if you're willing to put in the time and work. So I would absolutely suggest also keeping photos or documenting in some way, whether that's, with social media or, if you don't feel ready to share your stuff on social media yet, just keep them for yourself. Those first pieces that you do, because I promise you, you will be amazed at the progress you can make. And having that physical documentation to look back on can feel really encouraging. But you got to remember to give yourself grace. And remember that you're doing the best you can. You can't do any more than your best, but gradually you will start to see your best get better. Number 2, reframing comparison. I talk about this more in depth in another video, but one of the things that will really impact you being able to love and enjoy your creative journey will be comparing yourself to others in a negative way. If this is a problem you struggle with, I suggest you go and check out my other video on comparison, where I talked about how to reframe comparison in a way that can serve you. I don't really believe that trying to force ourselves to stop doing something that is actually a pretty natural thing to do is helpful. If we try to force ourselves not to do it, all we end up doing is feeling worse about ourselves when we do it. It's much better to turn it around and create something out of it that actually serves us. Okay, number 3, and the last one. This is my favorite one. Connect with other artists. This is huge. The more you connect with other artists, whether that is through social media or networking groups, the more you will realize that everyone goes through these challenges. Everyone has a different background, different obstacles, and different experiences. It can be incredibly encouraging and inspiring to learn from other artists. You can gain so many different ideas, which in turn can really give you that motivation and excitement to apply to your business. This is what the creative journey is all about. It is meant to be filled with exploration, ideas, learning curves, challenges, and fluctuations. If you can learn to accept that this is what the creative process looks like, it's going to be so much easier for you to stick it out and reach your goals. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.